All right, guys, it finally happened. It took 7 seasons, 4 episodes in, and even a movie has passed at this point for Mulder and Scully lips to finally touch, to actually kiss one another in
Well,
a in a
in
in
a
an
real,
actual
like,
real life setting, not
yes.
not a fantasy world setting like in Triangle.
Yeah, they
No,
did kiss in Triangle, but
this
this is like
is
really
Mulder
them.
and Scully. The girl he kissed in that was Gillian Anderson, but not playing Scully. She was playing some woman of the 30s. So that does not count. This is Mulder and Scully's first kiss. They got this close in the movie,
Yep.
but we finally get it here in the Millennium like finale. Weird. So Millennium was another show that Chris Carter had created, and he decided to end after 3 seasons. The show. This is what I've read. I've never watched that show, but I read in the trivia that this is supposed to be like the show's finale.
So interesting.
That they would do it on the X Files in the
Yeah.
middle of a season for the X Files. That seems so
Yes.
weird when I don't know if Mulder or Scully or anybody or anything crossed over to Millennium
I know. I'm
to begin that.
curious.
I think I watched
I
an
feel
episode
like
or two when it was on back in the day, but not like one of the first episodes or anything. So I honestly don't know,
hmm.
but
Yeah, I never watched the show ever. I didn't even really know about it until you told me. So it's weird. It's definitely weird for a show to be like, let's just end it here in like another show because like like Angel and Buffy, like obviously that's like the spin-off that I think of, and I know there's a ton of crossover between those
yeah.
with characters coming back and forth, but like
Oh,
we've never seen this person before ever, and we never see him again, I'm assuming. So it's like it was a
no,
very
not in this
random.
show. Yeah, I mean, when I think of crossover stuff, I think of when I was watching all of the DC
Oh sure, I bet that
Arrowverse
was probably like the most.
CW
Yeah.
shows back when I was watching The Flash, Arrow, Legends of Tomorrow, Supergirl.
Yeah.
Like they all had like it was awesome. Me and my buddy Travis and David, we'd watch every episode for each show each week. It'd be like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. They'd all have an episode each day, and then like every season they would have like this big 4 episode crossover event,
That's fun.
and it was fucking awesome.
Yeah.
I enjoyed those. Those are super fun. Now they have like Superman and Lois, and they have Black Lightning, which I don't think ever crossed over, and then they had anyway. But yeah, with this one, okay, getting to the kiss, even though that literally is the last thing that happens in this episode, but that's by far the most noteworthy
Yes.
thing because
Yeah.
this is the thing you've been waiting for. It's not even a real kiss. Like it is a kiss, but it's not like a romantic kiss in the sense that like they're out, not even if they were on a date, but it's a New Year's kiss, right?
Yeah.
So it's like everyone kisses on New Year's. I've kissed people on New Year's just because you're supposed to kiss people, and there's like you're with a chick and you're like, you might as well kiss them, and it's not even like a romantic thing. So like for them, I do think it is romantic in the moment, but it's not because they kissed, right?
Mm.
It was because they were prompted to do so and they were looking at each other. And Mulder's the one that did it, right? He like looked over at Scully. Scully's just watching the TV and he's like staring at her. And then she looks over at him as he's like coming in
Yeah, they
and they
have
have
like
their moment.
she looks like a little surprised even too.
She probably
Yeah,
for a moment was like, imposter.
100, bro. The amount of times that it's not been Mulder coming at her. That's a good point. Yeah, it's an interesting because it's a good kiss.
Yeah.
Like it's not just like a quick little
Oh
peck.
no.
Like it's a kiss.
It's a full kiss. Yeah.
Then they like kind of pull apart and like smile at each other, and I think he like hugs her, and they walk out to go order takeout or something to celebrate.
I like to believe they slept
I
together.
wish that but then like
They
we're
didn't.
obviously way ahead in the show.
Yeah, they don't. Yeah,
It like
there's
doesn't
no
even it's not
mention of
even
it. No,
addressed.
no, no. They're not
It's
romantic at all from
so
here.
frustrating. I just feel like they have given up on. I feel like this is such a weird episode to put this kiss in, and a weird just in general. Because also the other part with this episode is I was like really confused about a lot of stuff going on in this episode. I like felt like I couldn't
I
really,
think you need the context of Millennium.
yeah, like I felt like I couldn't really understand, and I feel like I should have been able to, but yeah, maybe I'm just missing all the context from the other show. But this is just such a random episode. Like if they had had the kiss in the Christmas episode at the haunted house, with the couple when they're like that would have made sense. Mistletoe, right? They could have done the same setup of like this is a tradition of people like because that's fine like to have like oh they need the nudge of like oh it's okay if we do it here because like we're expected to but then it means something more but with this kiss I don't know especially because afterwards nothing happens like
Yeah.
the next episodes going forward like there's just no consequences to it.
Yeah, it feels almost retconned. It almost feels like it didn't happen.
Yeah.
The most obvious place the kiss should have happened is in the movie. I think that
Mm,
that's the most obvious place to put it. And when they were going in for the kiss, the fact that it does get disrupted by the bee
yeah.
is super annoying because it's like this is the movie, this is the big event,
Yeah.
and to put it just so randomly in like the fourth episode of season 7, that's this crossover episode with a show that we haven't even really we've never addressed in the past. It feels very lackluster. Like it's exciting to see it, but it's like this should be a bigger moment than it is.
Absolutely. And it also, because it's a crossover, kind of makes it feel like it's not canon. Like it's like another universe sort of a thing.
Because you
You
got
know
to
what I
think of
mean?
what, yeah, sure, you've got to think of the movie kiss that almost happened. That felt genuine. That felt like
Yes.
a romantic moment,
Yes,
right? That's where I'm
definitely.
talking about the organic nature of the romantic kiss. But you have to remember that was fucking a season and a half ago. I mean, that was at the end of season 5, beginning, in between season 5 and season 6. We're at season 7, episode 4. We're almost a season and a half later
Yeah.
before their kiss. It's like if they're going to kiss in the hallway at the end of the movie or in the middle of the movie, why the fuck are they not then finally kissing in season 6, episode 1 or 2? Like that's where the kiss should take place, because we did the kiss and then what? They're just like, nope, that never happened. And then we
Yeah.
go to this one and they kiss finally, and then they just go back to like, nope, that never happened. And it's like it's getting to the point where it's like I don't even give a shit
A
anymore.
hundred.
Like I don't even
I
care. I don't even want you guys
was
together. It's
just
just
about to
fucking
say,
annoying.
Mulder can leave now. That's fine. He can go.
It's
He can leave the show.
it's just
Like, what's the
frustrating.
point? And
Like
this isn't one of those situations I feel where it's like you don't need romance in a show. Like you don't need to have a romance between a male and a female character. That's not a necessity. But that's not the case with what's going on with Mulder and Scully.
no.
Like there has been a setup for a romantic relationship, even if it's a complex one. Like there is that as a part of their story and their characters. Not but I mean, I guess the question is like did that only happen because like it's a male and a female character and like the audience is expecting there to be a romance and maybe there's like never, but I just don't see it. I think that it was always kind of the idea to have that romance blossom, and so it just feels like a constant tease all the time and it feels very unfulfilling and lame because there's so many other shows and movies and stories that are able to pull off the like, you know, even on again off again relationships or like complicated relationships between people and make it like, last and entertaining like we've talked about in many of these reviews when we talk about like their relationship. So I don't know, I do feel like it's a waste
but
of
just
time.
but just even from a writing standpoint, it would be so much more interesting as a writer to actually have this complicated romantic relationship in the episodes. It's almost like they want they want the show to remain very self-contained in the episodes that they're not dealing with the overall storyline, So no writer really wants to touch that. And so
Yeah.
Chris Carter is never really giving anyone the go ahead on it. And it just keeps getting pushed to the wayside, even though a lot of writers love to write in that Scully's jealous or that Mulder's
Yeah.
hitting on her or whatever. They like to throw in the romantic tension and the obvious flirtation. And they're clearly like just completely in love with each other at this point.
Yeah.
And they even mention it in multiple episodes. I mean, especially in season 7, we'll get to stuff within here where it's just, they talk about like, oh, who are you with, do you have a partner, and it's like not in a traditional sense,
Yeah.
but we'll get to that. But it's just it feels I don't know, it feels so unfulfilling at this point. And you know it feels like those friends that you're around who should be together and they are never together, and you're like, just fuck already. God, it's so annoying. Can you guys not just like let your guards down and just do what you actually want to do? Watching it for 7 seasons, I don't know, you can only wait so long.
And this has been years for them. This is also like, not only is it 7 seasons for us, but it's like years for their
Absolutely.
relationship to deepen. And it has. They've been through so much together.
Yeah.
Like, it would make less sense for them to not get together romantically after everything that they've been through together.
Yeah,
The ups and downs.
this isn't seasons of 24 where each season is a day.
Yeah, exactly.
So anyway, that's as I said. With us, that's like the main talking point of this episode. Of course, after 7 seasons, we finally get a kiss. So we're gonna spend the majority of our time talking about it. We're dealing with necromancy in this episode, and then you know I like that Scully is the learned educated scholar in this episode by pointing out that the millennium doesn't actually end until 2001.
Yeah.
Because that's like something that people seem to not understand,
Right.
that the end of the millennium doesn't happen until you know 001.
Right.
So I love that she points that out, because that's such a Scully thing to do, that she's such an actually character,
Yeah.
and I love it. That just fits her perfectly for me. You've got zombies in this,
Yeah,
attacking Mulder and Scully.
you do.
You
Yeah, all the necromancy stuff, I don't know. I was just very confused. I don't know why.
you could even say that this is like a crossover shared universe with Rob Zombie's Halloween movies, because Octavia Spencer is a nurse in this,
Mm,
and I was like, she looks like exactly like she does in Rob Zombie's Halloween too. Same actress, same
crossover confirmed.
yeah, yeah. Millennium, Rob Zombie's Halloween,
X
X Files,
Files.
all in the same. Man, imagine Mulder and Scully investigating Michael Myers.
That would be interesting.
Actually, it'd be a great fucking crossover.
That'd be very interesting.
Scully would be like, "No, Mulder, he's just a
Mulder
psychopath,"
would
and he'd
be
be like,
like, "Bro,
"No, there's a
I
curse of
talk
Thorn."
about Loomis." Yeah,
Yeah,
Mulder and Loomis would get along really well, I think. Um, yeah, that'd be cool.
yeah. And then yeah, I mean they are straight up zombies because they got to shoot them in the head.
Yes.
And speaking of Y2K, since that's what this was built off of, and the fact that Millennium was a show leading up to the Millennium, we are going to get to see the movie Y2K. The is that A24? No, was it? I don't think it is.
I don't remember. It feels like it would be an A24 movie.
The new horror movie A24.
Yeah.
Y2K. We get to see it next Wednesday, like
Yeah.
a couple weeks early.
It's
So
exciting.
that'll
I
be
think it'll be fun.
yeah. Yeah. Overall, I don't really have a ton to say about this episode outside of the kiss, because I
Yeah.
feel like I'm missing 3 seasons of context to even discuss it.
I do
It
too.
would be like trying to review a finale of a show you've never watched.
Yeah, it's weird. I'm definitely curious if anybody, watching these reviews, like if they watched Millennium and like how it felt for them. Like if you were watching Millennium at the same time as X Files and like got excited, that the crossover was the finale or if that's weird because I do think that's just a very weird way to end a show. It feels very like I'm not gonna say lazy, but just kind of like I don't know. It feels
Fucking
lame. It
bizarre.
feels really
It's
lame. It
bizarre.
feels like it would be like ending Stranger Things in the middle of like
Well, this
something else. You know what I mean? Like,
this was a complaint that people had, and I get it to a degree, but I don't agree because for me it's all mandatory, so it doesn't matter. But this is like how Din Djarin gets back Grogu
oh,
in Book of Boba Fett, and they
yeah,
were like super annoyed, like why is he not doing big story arc moments
mm,
within his own show?
yeah,
Like season 3 ends or season 2 ends with Mando giving Grogu to Luke,
yeah,
and then it's like, well, when are we going to see him again? And then he gets him back in another show, and then when season 3 starts, he has him back, and it's like
yeah,
if you don't watch that show, you're gonna be like, why does he have him back?
yeah,
Like that's weird. Where's that? And then you have to tell him like, well, you have to watch these 2 episodes of Book of
yeah.
Boba Fett.
I guess
So
I understand that
it
a little
it's
bit,
not like it's
though.
completely,
Yeah,
unprecedented. It
but it's
happens.
not ending a show within a show.
No,
But it is. I do
no,
understand what you're
but it's a
saying.
major
It's
story
huge. Yeah,
point. Yeah,
yeah. That's a good like
comparison.
comparison.
Yeah. So, um, what else was I gonna say? Shit, I
I don't
lost
know.
track there.
Sorry.
No, it's fine. I don't think it was important. Um,
Excuse me.
so that's that.
That's that.
Millennium. Uh, Yeah, no, I was gonna say something about another show or something, and I'm completely blanking on it now.
Oh,
Oh well, it
probably because I
happens.
interrupted you.
No, no, that won't matter because no one will ever say anything when she interrupts me. Never, ever will that happen in the comments. Man, let him speak.
Sorry.
I've literally watched Kaylee talk for 10 straight minutes before, and no one's ever said a fucking word. I don't care. She can talk as long as she wants, but she's went on long rants before, and I've tried to like come in and she'll stop me, and I'll be like, oh, that's fine. She's still going. Not a big deal. Never, never. If I talk for 5 minutes, people are like, why don't you ever let her talk?
100.
Really? Ask yourself
100.
why you guys think that. Sexist pricks.
You're a talkative guy.
All right, guys. Bye.
Bye.